David Lemieux up here on stage. Make some noise, ladies and gentlemen. That was a much better welcome for you, David. So anything you want to say to all the fans that we have out here?
Thank you, guys. What's happening? I'm back in Vegas. It's going to be an exciting Saturday night. I promise you some fireworks for my behalf, so I hope you enjoyed the show.
Right now, I know that we already asked you this question, but let's make sure that everybody out here hears it as well. You've got some lessons to teach Spike O'Sullivan because the two of you don't like each other very much. You said you didn't really know him before, but now it's gotten into that point where we're going to see a pretty heated fight between the two of you. How did it get so personal between you guys?
Well, you know, he has a big mouth. He likes to you know, talk garbage on social media. I recently heard that he did a big beating on his ex-girlfriend. So, you know, this is the type of guy I'm dealing with. So, you know, he might act in a certain way, but is really not a guy, not the best type of guy. I'm gonna knock him out to make a lot of people a favor.
And following your last fight, do you feel like you have something to prove? I feel like we didn't quite see the David Lemieux that we're used to seeing in your last fight. So this time around, what do you plan to show everybody?
Nobody wants to hear excuses, but the fighter is a human being. You know, I had my issues back in the past. I had my injuries. I had certain things I had to deal with. I'm at 100% right now. There's no excuse. You're going to see David Lemieux at its best this Saturday, and I promise you a great night. I'm coming back, and I'm coming back strong. I'm gonna knock this guy out, and I'm gonna take good care of him.
All right, let's hear from the fans. If you guys want to see a knockout happening this Saturday. All right, it sounds like they want a knockout, David. All right, guys, we're gonna send it back to you.
David Lemieux, Jessica Rosales, Lemieux getting a hug from Oscar De La Hoya. They do a lot of work together with Eye of the Tiger management in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. They don't like each other, and I'm with David. It started from Spike, which is what you expect from a guy who's trying to make a name for himself. You poke the bear, you punch up, you don't punch down. Lemieux went back and forth with him on social media, saying right there, I'm gonna knock him out. He was annoying at first. Now I don't like him. There's animosity in
Yeah, well, you know what? The last time David Lemieux got into a social media spat with a fellow middleweight puncher, it was Curtis Stevens.
Oh.
And they had a nice little 3-round shootout, but that was one of the best knockouts scored in David Lemieux's career.
And then that was also the last time we saw David Lemieux look good, because the last outing,
you and I were there in Laval, Canada, right outside of his hometown of Montreal. He was taken to school by Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah, everything was set up for him that day, where it's in his small fight, small venue, everybody there, and Billy Joe Saunders.
And you know what? Listen, in Lemieux's defense, he didn't fight a chump. I mean, that was a fight that was viewed as a 50-50 fight, in part because Saunders had been one of those up and down fighters. But the version of Saunders that showed up was Billy Joe at his absolute best, and he put on what the British call a masterclass, a boxing clinic. Yeah, it was.
I gotta write so many things down today.
That's a saying.
I like that one.
It was embarrassing. It wasn't just a decision loss. It was embarrassing enough to where he was made into a meme that went viral of missing a right hand and Billy Joe Saunders looking for it in the audience. That went viral outside of boxing. He's just one fight removed from that. He needs a huge win to erase that embarrassment.
We're at the fighter arrivals, the grand arrivals at MGM Grand Arena. Beth Durant, Doug Fisher, Jessica Rosales, and Cynthia Conte on the stage doing interviews. Appreciate you checking in. Let us know where you're watching us from. We know Wildcard King is watching, Mark Prado's watching us, all the boxing heads out there watching us, and it is a vibe. You see the people behind us at the MGM. Walked around here early this morning. They were setting this up. This is the lobby. When you're walking in, there's the lobby. And the man with some swag, some strut, Gary Spike O'Sullivan. Gary, only his mom calls him. That's Spike O'Sullivan. 28-2, 20 KOs from Cork, Ireland. Managed by Murphy's Boxing out in Boston. Packy Collins, the man with the busted up nose behind him. The reason I say that is because Packy always tells me I got the busted up nose. His trainer,
he's a good trainer.
Yeah. Packy Collins, excellent trainer. Gary Spike O'Sullivan has been asking for this fight. Now remember, when Canelo and Triple G was called off, there was talks that maybe O'Sullivan would jump in May. That went to Vandes Martirosyan. Now it's O'Sullivan against David Lemieux, a fight that is very personal for Spike O'Sullivan out of Cork, Ireland.
Now, O'Sullivan fought the night before Triple G Martirosyan, May 4th at the StubHub Center in Carson, California. And last year, he fought 4 times. He's on a really nice extended win streak since suffering the only loss of his pro career, and that was to Chris Eubank Jr. in England. He is somebody who's fought often in Ireland, in England, and in the U.S., so it's no big deal for him to travel. I'm sure he's really hyped to fight in Las Vegas and to be in a fight of this magnitude. And I'll tell you what, the same night that Lemieux was embarrassed against Saunders, he looked awesome against the once beaten Antoine Douglas.
Yes,
and that was a fight that folks thought was a 50-50 fight, and he absolutely dominated Douglas.
Sept Conte is with Spike O'Sullivan.
Mr. Spike O'Sullivan, Gary O'Sullivan is in the house, guys. Where's Ireland at? Where's your fans? Come on, fans. Okay, you traveled all this way. You are going to be fighting the biggest fight of your life. Talk about what that means to you.
It means a great deal to me. It took 11 years to get here. I'm here now. I'm ready. I'm more ready than I've ever been before, and I'm ready to shine on the biggest stage.
You are fighting David Lemieux. I mean, the Twitter beef that goes on between you two, it is quality hate. He just said right now that he wants to teach you a lesson, and he made an allegation that you allegedly beat your girlfriend. That's below the belt. What are your fighting words for him, just why he said that?
I think it's going to be the opposite way around. I think it's going to be a lesson for him. I think it's going to be the last fight of his career. I think he's former world champion, but this is the end for him. He's going to be cooked.
What do you see in David Lemieux that you're going to be able to expose? Why isn't he a champion to you?
He's very one-dimensional. He does the same thing over and over again. You know, he's like a one-trick pony. You know, every time he brings the same stuff to the ring, like his social media is the same. He says the same stuff over and over again. He's a boring guy. He's a pretty boring fighter. And
1, 2. Hey everybody, how you doing, everybody? Checking mic 2.
You know,
coming to do it. I can hear.
I read about you. You were a former sheet metal worker, a butcher, and a tree surgeon, and now you're here. You're fighting on the undercard of one of the biggest fights in boxing. Come on, tell me how you really feel. I know you're excited, but you're doing this for your family. You only think about winning and your family. What does that really, really mean to you?
Well, I'm a very hard worker. I've worked hard to get here. I've worked out throughout my life, and I'm here now, and I'm going to take this opportunity with both hands. It means a great deal for me to be here on this stage, and I'm looking forward to shining.
All right, he's predicting a knockout. What's your prediction for your fight?
That's going to be a knockout. He's right about that, but not just the way he's talking. He's getting knocked out himself.
Can you tell your fans, Ring TV fans, all your fans all around the world, your fans in Ireland, why they should tune into your fight, and what do they expect to see of you that night?
Well, I always bring an entertaining style. I fight like a Mexican, and I'm Irish, but I fight like a Mexican. I always bring a good fighting style, a lot of entertainment for the fans. I believe I'm one of the most entertaining fighters in the world right now, and that's why they should tune in and check out the beating Lemieux is going to get.
Are you bringing your hat again that you wore Cinco de Mayo in the ring?
That hat Robert Diaz got me, it was too big, couldn't fit in my case.
All right, okay, last words to David Lemieux.
Watch out, David, you're getting knocked out.
All right, David, come on to the stage. We have to do your, oh, no face. Okay, well then, there you go. All right, guys, tune in. Back to you guys.
They're both predicting knockouts.
That's what they do. They knock guys out.
And it's not hyperbole. They're both going for the knockout. You can't believe I have that big word in my vocabulary, right? Hyperbole. You know why? Because I host like a Mexican. We'll be back with more from the MGM Grand, the Grand Arrivals, working our way towards Canelo and Triple G.